Everybody, this is Mackie. We're back with the Hidden Threads podcast. Victoria's here dancing as usual. You like our music we used to come into the podcast? Yeah. Our bumper music. All these terms.
Groovy.
So, how do you like in this cold weather, Victoria?
Not that great, but I can handle it.
When are we going to get warm weather? Did they say?
No.
Nobody's saying, huh?
That's way far out in the future, Mackie.
Really? I just want it to be 50 degrees, 50.
I know.
I'm tired of this 20 degrees, 17, you name it, all the different low temperatures.
Glad I can finally start my car from inside.
It's you got the new car ever. Now. You liking that car?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have to sit out there and freeze. No.
All right. We're going to get into a talk today about the dark web. What do you know about the dark web, Victoria?
Honestly, I do not know much about the dark web. I've just now kind of cracked into this stuff.
All right. We'll talk about it a little bit today. I know quite a bit about it. I've worked cases in the dark web before. But it's different. It's different than what you're used to.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know much about it, do you?
I've done my own little personal research, like on YouTube and stuff, like the torrent and all of this stuff. I kind of have an understanding of what it is, but I do not know how it all works together.
Right. The good thing about the dark web, it doesn't work together.
Oh,
that's the purpose of it, right?
Got you. Yeah. Okay.
So all the dark web is, it's a bunch of websites that are not indexed on any of your standard browsers. Your Bing, your Google, your what's that one? It's DuckDuckGo. They're not indexed there. All right. And before you can log into them, you have to be attached to a VPN in what they call an onion browser that randomizes your location. All right. And then it masks who you are. Okay. Now on the dark web, there's a variety of things you can buy on there illegally. You can buy drugs. You can do normal stuff too.
Yeah.
You can do normal shopping on there if you want. I don't know. Everything's purchased in Bitcoin. There's no credit card trails or any of those kind of things. So everything is purchased through Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a specific coin. Cyber currency, let's just say that. Yeah. Digital currency. Bitcoin's no different than Ethereum. Any of those different names for coins. Like the Haktua coin.
Gosh, she scammed the living crap out of everybody.
She's in trouble. Yeah. I don't know if she did it or if somebody advised her and they did it.
I
genuinely do
not think she's intelligent enough to even understand what was really going on there. I think she had someone telling her, hey, you should do this. And she's like, oh, money.
Money, yep.
Yeah.
She's looking for that to keep this fame going, and she got in trouble for it. But you purchase using digital currency, but you can also get into drugs, prostitution. You can buy guns. They even say you can get a hitman on there. I've looked at the hitman stuff and it looks like a scam to me.
Yeah. Okay. So okay.
I go into everything on the dark web is you're buying everything on there is a scam. That's just my opinion. Where we get into it is people get on there for crazy pornography. So all pornography is bad, but on the dark web, you can get into non-standard stuff. You can get into pedophilia. That's sold on there. You can get into crazy, I don't know the words for it, where people are getting beat on there.
Yeah.
Sexually and all this rape stuff and all that. It's crazy stuff that people get into. And that's illegal. And that's why it's sold on there, right? So people get on there and they explore their vices. And that's where we come into play. The dark web is very manual. What I mean by that, you have to know where you're going and know what you're looking for. The email addresses are weird looking. They're a bunch of numbers at a bunch of numbers.onion. The .onion is your onion browser where you go in. It's not even really a browser. It's just it's a browser that masks your IP, masks your location, and masks who you are. And then you double down on that with a VPN, virtual private network, that if somebody did crack the onion browser, you'd show up in Ireland or
just double
Russia or something.
Yourself. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
It keeps the randomness of that. Now, like we use GoDaddy for our website, right? GoDaddy, I think, is stored on Google servers, all right, and the big Google warehouse servers that are actual computer chips where it's stored. These big, huge storage areas. Amazon has them, Facebook has them, and that people say, "Oh, it's the cloud." That's all it is a big room with servers where all your stuff's stored, right? It's a lot of space, and digital space. The dark web is not stored in those. They are stored locally on people's devices.
Gotcha.
All right. So now if you went to Mario, let's use the word Mario.
Yeah.
I like the word Mario.
Yeah.
If you went to Mario's dark website on his computer, all right, the next day you might go back there and it's not there anymore. He moved it. All right. How do you know where he moved it, though? That's the big question.
Yeah.
There's chat rooms on the open net where people can go look. Reddit is a big one where people find these sites. People put it up for a little while. People can grab it and go to the dark web, and then it goes away off Reddit. You can delete off Reddit and all those things. And then you got Check8. That's another one similar to Reddit. You got 4chan, 8chan, 10chan, all the different chans where people can find them. That's where they're grabbing this stuff from. It gets published there for a little while. People grab it, and then it goes. And they also do in-person contacts where they'll have, if you're in the child porn, they'll have meetups and talk about where they can find it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like some spy stuff to get child porn, which is really crazy to me. And then but that's how keeps it randomized where it's hard to find. Okay. Now we get on there with our looking like any other dark web user and look around you got to be targeted on the site you're going to. All right. I can't just go in there and search a certain email address on that site. Now, if it is registered with the site, some of our other tools will show up on there. But if they've created a random email address, we have to get on and we're looking for artifacts like pictures of them, things like that, especially when we're dealing with pornography. So it's a pretty secretive, hard thing to find. But it is being found. The FBI and other agencies are all up in there and trying to find evidence. The hard thing is when you see it, it's hard to track them down, because it's hard to find them and prove that they were on there. Now, if they can get an indication that somebody does have child porn and they're publishing it, and they can get any indication of who they are and identify them, then that's when you see them going in and raiding houses and stuff. So,
are you familiar with like the Duggar family?
I am.
I know they had came to the dealership, I guess he owned, the Josh guy, and had raided the dealership for his stuff. So I'm assuming that was all connected through dark web.
It was their son, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the images have to start somewhere. They're not created on the dark web. They're created locally on somebody's device, right? And then they get distributed. Distributed. All right. They get distributed, and that's when they end up on the dark web and other websites. So if they can find the origin point of who created it, that's when they start breaking down pedophilia rings, right?
Right.
The people that are transmitting over the airwaves, creating it, and the people actually involved in it. That's where they start putting those people in jail.
Gotcha.
So I know the Duggar son was involved in it.
Yeah, they went to the dealership that he owned and literally was like, give us hand over all your
stuff,
computers.
Yeah.
I
don't think Mr. Duggar, the older, was involved. It was the son.
It was the son who had gotten in trouble, not by the police, but by his own family. Like he had admitted to assaulting his sisters, and they never did anything about it. They just let him keep living there.
Right.
Yeah.
The Duggars were such a big deal at one time. And
dude, I was watching a documentary and I'm like, they're messed up. Yeah.
They were a big deal, and this one son kind of destroyed everything for him with his habits, his horrible habits he had. But that's my description of the dark web and how it works on a surface level.
So when we hear things like torrent,
all right. A torrent site is a site where all the information that it's stored on there is randomized. You can't go in and decipher it. And then if you log in and create an account there, you will not show up on any public database.
Gotcha.
That's a torrent site, a torrent browser, those kind of things.
Gotcha.
It just randomizes everything so you don't show up.
So kind of the same as Onion?
Yeah, Onion is a torrent.
I got you.
Onion's just a name for it. It's an open source, by the way. It's not paid. So, one day you and I need to get on there and look around and hire a hitman or something.
Right.
There is a thing on TikTok and other sites, other apps where they buy mystery boxes from the dark web and they open them up.
I've seen some of that.
Those are pretty interesting. There's like rotten food,
this nasty stuff,
stupid stuff on there, like one shoe and stuff. It's just interesting.
I bet people are actually making good money off of that.
They get on there and bid on it with Bitcoin. I thought it was funny, but I would never first off, I'm not ordering anything on the dark web. I think everything's a scam.
Yeah.
But and you can get on there and see the hitman sites. It's like you're typing in the person you want killed and then pay him with Bitcoin. I'm like, there's no way somebody's going to show up for that.
Seriously. But haven't they found actual hitmans from that or no?
I think so. I've not researched it, but I think they have, that people were doing it. And most of the time they're police officers posing as hitmen. So
I got
they
you.
do the transaction and get you popped.
I got you.
You put in the pokey.
The pokey.
But yeah, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back and look at some actual cases involving the dark web and see what y'all think about it.
Yeah.
All right? Hey, I get a lot of calls from people that say, hey, I looked on Been Verified, Scope Now, Truth Finder, White Pages, all these different sites saying, hey, I found some information on a person, but when I followed up on it, it wasn't accurate. That's because those cheap and free services give you old information. That's the bottom line. We have a service where we give you the same information, but it's real time. You get bankruptcies, divorces, criminal record, if they're a sexual predator, where they live now, current phone numbers, email addresses, usernames, all these things you get in real time. We get this information by using a TLO database that's only available to private investigators, law enforcement, and federal agencies. So if you want real data now and talk to a real investigator now to get information that you need to move forward with your life, please give us a call, 866-910-7499, or you can click the link and fill out your information. That's 866-910-7499, or click the link and fill out your information. We want to help you with real-time data to help you move forward with your life. Here we go with part 2.
Yeehaw.
All right, we're back, y'all, with part 2. Are you ready, Victoria?
So ready.
Do you like the story I told you about this weekend?
You need to share that if you can.
Okay. Yeah, we went to a thing with our church this weekend with the kids, right? It was like a revival for the teenagers, right? Mm-hmm. It was very good. Good performers. Crowder was there. He's good.
Yeah.
So Crowder's real good. During one of the preachers, during one of the daytime sessions, some kid pulled the fire alarm. This is a gigantic building with 6,000 people in there.
Whoa, I didn't realize there was that many people in there.
It's big. And so the alarm started going off saying, get out. And the preacher was like, hey, I think this is a false alarm. But the problem is the little flashing lights started going to strobes. Mm-hmm. And you got 6,000 people. There's a few kids started falling out with seizures.
Bro.
I was like, man, a prank turned into a disaster here.
Like you had to go into life-saving mode.
Yeah, it was bad. And so they finally got all straightened out and got those people going over to to the hospital, whatever care they needed. But they turned a prank from a kid turned into that.
Can you imagine how mad his parents were? Oh my God.
I don't know. My kid would never be seen again if I called him.
Oh my God. That would end horribly.
But yeah, one thing to get the noise and the flashing lights, and then kids start falling out from seizures from flashing lights. But I knew that was a thing.
Yeah.
From like it says that hey, this movie has flashing lights. If you get seizures, watch out.
I've always seen it. Just never seen anyone.
I saw it in person. So.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Stressful.
Back to what we were talking about, Victoria, the dark web.
Yes.
So we're going to get into some actual ripoffs that happen with the dark web. All right. Okay. A big one going on now is financial embezzlement on dark web. So what you'll do is you'll get an email saying, hey, let's use you, Victoria. Hey, Victoria, I've got pictures of you in compromising situations. All right. We took some secret pictures of you. Here's a picture of your house. If you look at it closely, it's taken from Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
But it's a big elaborate email. And they say, if you don't give us equivalent to $3,000 in Bitcoin, we're going to publish these pictures on the dark web for sale. What do you think?
That's what scares. I mean, that would scare anyone, I think.
Yeah. We get those cases, right?
Yeah.
It's typically nothing's going to happen. But now there have been cases where they actually sold the information on the dark web. All right. I don't know if it was naked pictures or whatever, but they do sell your financial data.
Yeah.
Right? Your bank account information, your number one, your email address. They'll sell that. Your social security number. They'll put that on the dark web for people to try to use and open up credit card accounts and those things. All right. So those are scams that happen on the dark web.
I know we had a client, not a client because he never became a client, but we talked to him and he had somehow managed to put all of his money into a fake wallet.
Yeah. So this guy put $500,000 into a fake Bitcoin wallet. All right. And he wanted us to try to track it down. Now we were going to try, there's tools we can use to try to get where the money went based off the email traffic and things, but he never paid it.
Yeah. No.
I don't know what happened.
He
there.
never fell through with it, but the fake wallets are a thing. I didn't know that was even.
Yeah. Fake wallet. It was a fake wallet. Like they had it and it appeared to be legit that you would use in digital currency, and he put his money in there, but it was not real. Just went into their bank account.
He even said some of his family had like chipped in for this investment.
Yeah, it was investment in some kind of new coin.
Yeah.
And he got ripped off. The usernames, and email addresses. I understand that there's scams going on where they scrape your passwords off of a compromised website, your email address and passwords off of a compromised website, and sell it on the dark web, and then people can buy it from them and use that as and try to open accounts in your name or get behind the pay screen on a website you're part of.
Wow. Yeah, that makes me so nervous.
That's why two-factor authentication on any website you have where you got your medical data, financial, any of that should have a two-factor authentication. Right?
I guess how different is it? This whole TikTok thing has everyone steals their data. So what's the difference between like data being sold on the dark web and like Microsoft taking your data?
Okay. Microsoft, TikTok, or whatever. So TikTok is owned by China. So if you don't open a company in China, the Communist Party automatically owns it. All right. You're just a manager, basically. All right. They own your algorithms, whatever you invented, they own it. And China wants to steal that data so they can put out propaganda against the United States.
Gotcha.
Okay. And they may get some insights into some secret stuff, but it's typically just their propaganda tool where they can tailor their propaganda to what's going on.
They're not going to do identity theft with the information.
Probably not. Now, an individual in China could, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they have limited access to the internet. So in China.
Right.
That's a wholesale. Now, Microsoft gets your data and they sell it to these people that scraper. They'll put it out on the open net to sell your email address. And then Microsoft, Google, they do it more. So when you're in Facebook, they take your information more to see what your habits are. So when they can target ads at you, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And they are mainly targeting for advertisements. And then they get involved with the government, and the government takes it so they can go after their political opponents. But what do you think of that?
I'm just like, to me, it's like it doesn't just happen on the dark web. It happens consistently.
It's happening right in the open now.
Right.
Now, the dark web is more specific. So it's not a broad wholesale, we're going to buy all this information. It's more specific. Like the dark web would get it and steal about 1,000 email addresses and social security numbers. Then they go on one of these sites and say, look, I got these for sale, and people buy them in bulk. And then those people are hackers, and they try to go in and crack your passcodes and stuff to your bank account information. So
that's scary.
Open accounts. So
yeah.
And they do it. They have computers that they do it over where it does it rapidly, where the hacking, they'll try, they're doing tens of thousands of tries, but they'll put this information in, and then they'll try 10,000 accounts and usernames, and they may just get one, but one gets them in.
Right.
And then they can open a credit card and get you before you realize it, get some money before you realize it. So and then you start tracking them down, and they're in the Netherlands at a coffee shop.
Right.
Not a real person.
Right.
But yeah, that's a simple way to describe it. Selling porn is a big one. People take pictures of their girlfriends, boyfriends, or whatever in compromising situations. They break up, they're mad at them or whatever, and they put their pictures on the internet for sale, on dark web for sale.
I don't know if you heard about this case. This older woman and her husband, they were old, and the husband was basically like drugging her up at nighttime. And I don't know if he was using the dark web, but he was inviting men over every night to have sex with her. And she ended up obviously divorcing him and getting a big payout from him. But like she had no knowledge. The cops sat down with her, showed her the videos of the acts happening. And she was like, I never knew any of this happened to me.
Really?
She ended up with like 3 STDs, and like, it was bad.
Lord of mercy. Anyway, I never heard of that in Victoria.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he was using the dark web to assist in getting people over there.
I don't know. Yeah, the randomizing the people coming over. Just random people coming over to make videos.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
But you haven't heard of that. Thanks for bringing it up, though.
Yeah, it's a rough one. And she was old. It was sad.
Yeah. Old people pornography. All right. Mm-hmm. So those are some dark web activities that we see. Specifically is we got the ongoing one where if we believe the guy is soliciting himself as a male prostitute on the dark web. We haven't found it yet. We're looking. It's a very manual thing, like I mentioned. But people get caught on the dark web typically because somebody tells on them. That's how they get caught. They'll say, hey, this guy's doing this. Somebody's conscience gets the best of them, and they report them. And then they show them some evidence, and it gives them enough. You get a warrant locally so they can go in and pull the original data off, right?
Right.
Remember, these websites are local. They're not on Google servers. So if they grab the laptop or whatever device they're producing this website on, then they can probably get the artifacts. It's enough evidence to convict them of whatever crime it is.
That makes sense. So, yeah.
I was always interested in the Hitman one.
I know. That one is really interesting because it just seems so scammy. Like he really.
The guy that murdered the insurance CEO. Do you think he was
Luigi.
a hitman? You think he's a hitman?
No, I think he had a lot of hatred in his heart.
Hate in his heart.
Yeah.
And just killed the guy, right?
Oh, I think he was just mad at a lot of systems.
Right, mad at systems and did it the incorrect way, right?
To him, I don't think he thought it was incorrect.
Yeah, his mind, he thought it was correct, right?
But to every,
to a normal walking around person, we don't do it that way.
Yes.
All right, well, that's about it on the dark web, Victoria. We're going to move on, and we'll be back with some more episodes soon.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Peace out.
Peace out. Butter Sprout.
Butter. Girl Scout.
Whatever.